They control the House, the Senate, the White House, but they have no plan. So you know what? We've created a commitment to America.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy just unveiled the agenda his party will try to implement if Republicans, as anticipated, reclaim the majority in November. The plan was so vague that it fit on a note card McCarthy pulled from his jacket pocket. It mentioned common GOP talking points like strengthening voter ID laws, banning trans women from girls' sports, and protecting the lives of the unborn. But any specific details about what the party will do if they take back the speaker's gavel were seriously lacking. But guess what? You know I found them. Nestled in a little noticed 122-page document published back in June, the vast majority of House Republican lawmakers laid out their dream vision for a Republican-led House. The document was published by the Republican Study Committee, which nearly 75% of House Republicans belong to.
But RSC is the largest caucus in Congress. We have 146 members, and it's a good representation of the conference at large.
And it is a laundry list of Republican desires. In no particular order, here's what our country could face if they get their way. A nationwide abortion ban.
It is the most pro-life budget that the RSC has ever produced.
For starters, the blueprint supports legislation declaring that human life begins at conception. It also supports a bill providing 14th Amendment protections at all stages of life.
It ensures the protection of American constitutional rights.
In other words, a cluster of cells that is not yet developed enough to medically be considered a fetus would have the same constitutional rights as you and I.
What the RSC is proposing, which is life begins at conception in the womb, marriages between a man and a woman.
They also want to end birthright citizenship.
A person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States, but it has to end.
The RSC says that undocumented immigrants take advantage of this constitutional right. Instead, they want citizenship to only be granted to babies who already have a parent that is a U.S. citizen.
This budget also worked towards strengthening our national security, starting with the crisis at our southwest border.
And what has long been a hallmark of the Republican platform, they want to eliminate entire government agencies. In particular, they have their sights set on the National Labor Relations Board.
Starbucks has been hit with a complaint from the National Labor Relations Board for penalizing 2 employees who are part of the union push,
which is responsible for stepping in when companies engage in unfair labor practices and union busting. They also have their sights on killing the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
It's a new oversight agency called the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. It's charged with just one job: looking out for the interests of ordinary Americans in the financial system.
They effectively want to give up on fighting the climate crisis. The RSC endorses killing any federal funding that would go to reducing America's greenhouse gas emissions. They also want to end all EPA grant programs and shutter all the EPA's regional offices.
19 Republican-led states were a part of the legal challenge to the EPA.
The manifesto also recommends slashing programs that assist low-income families. For example, they want to eliminate LIHEAT, which is a program that helps poor families heat and cool their homes.
Millions of Americans in the Pacific Northwest are bracing for a lingering heat wave.
They also support killing an initiative that allows schools in very low-income areas to provide free meals to students.
Nationwide, around 1 in 6 students don't always know where their next meal is coming from.
But these changes can't happen overnight. Even if Republicans take back the House and the Senate, they won't have the necessary 60 votes to advance their ideas to the president's desk. And for at least the next 2 years, the president will be a Democrat who wouldn't readily sign any of these ideas into law. But I'll leave you with these 2 final things to keep in mind. First, the House is likely to get more conservative. At least 118 election deniers have at least a 95% shot of winning their House elections, according to a 538 political forecast. Secondly, while a Congress with narrow majorities on either side, plus a Democrat in the White House means that most of these ideas are dead on arrival, there's always a chance a Republican majority could force a government shutdown, unless they get something from their wish list.
I think we're going to have a shutdown.
Republicans are threatening to shut down the government.
It doesn't matter if it forces the government shutdown.
This is only a taste of what the majority of House Republicans want. To see the full wish list, head to motherjones.com.